Good morning, and welcome to your daily Farm and Home Show, brought to you by the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. And now, here's your host. Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna and we're talking mushrooms today with Dr. Ellen Crocker with the University of Kentucky Extension Service. She's a forest health specialist and is here with us today. Good morning, Ellen.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm so glad you're here because I think mushrooms are fun and you have a really cool activity to do with kids.
Yeah. So there's a fungus among us today.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are afraid of fungi.
Yes.
But I like to tell people about fungi, and I think that this is a fun activity that you could do with kids this summer, a kind of science introduction to what fungi are and what they're doing.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people just don't understand. You know, we've all heard, like, don't eat mushrooms, that you find out. And that's probably a really good piece of advice unless you know exactly what you're doing.
I totally agree.
But it is fun to kind of watch how they grow and learn a little bit more about them.
So I think a lot of people are surprised that mushrooms are actually just the fruiting bodies of a much larger fungus. So in this case, here you can see this is, and it's missing little bits of it right now, but here's the mushrooms, and that's what you might see growing in your yard, growing in your mulch, growing out in the woods. But the main body of that fungus is all of this white stuff that you're seeing. That's the part that's eating, that's living, that's growing, and we call that mycelium. So it tends to be kind of thread-like vegetative structure. That's the body of a fungus. So anytime you see a fungus, it's eating something, and the part that's doing that is the mycelium. And these mushrooms, any mushrooms you see, all the mushrooms out on this table here, are just the fruiting bodies. So they're how fungi get around and make new little fungal colonies. So mushrooms produce spores, and spores move to new areas.
Okay, so you grew these.
I did. So these are some oyster mushrooms. You can actually eat these, and I purchased some spawn, which is like the seeds for the fungus. The spawn is actually just the mycelium. So right here you can kind of see some of that, all the white stuff. That's growing in that seed is that mycelium, that fungal mycelium, and added it to a particular food for this fungus. Do you happen to know what this looks like?
Well, I cheated a little bit. I already know. It's a toilet paper roll, right?
It's a toilet paper roll, and it kind of looks like one, right?
Yes.
So the main role of fungi is they're nature's recyclers. They like breaking down plant material, they eat that, and then they put it in new forms that other things can use it. And what is toilet paper, but plant material. Yeah. So this oyster mushroom is eating that toilet paper, and this is a fun activity you can do with kids to show them about fungi. So all you have to do is you order some what's called spawn, so it's that fungal mycelium, and you want to get oyster mushroom spawn. There are several different companies that specialize in that, and then they'll also sell you a special bag. So you get your spawn, you maybe add a little bit to a sterilized wet toilet paper roll. The fastest way to do that is to pour boiling water on it and then wait for it to cool. And then you put it all inside of the special bag right here, and it's got a filter patch on it because, like us, fungi need to breathe. So this little patch will let the fungus breathe, but it won't let other things get in there that could contaminate your toilet paper roll. You can then close it up once you've added your spawn, added your wet toilet paper, and wait. And over a few days, you're going to see all this white, fluffy stuff growing. And that's actually the fungus growing, eating that toilet paper roll. After a few weeks, the whole thing is white and fluffy, and then you can pop it in your fridge for a day to trigger it to start producing some mushrooms. Take it out, open up the bag, and you'll see something like this after just a few days. This will continue growing, get much bigger, and I think it's a really fun way to learn about the life cycle of fungi.
It is, and if people are worried about eating wild mushrooms, this is a great way because if you grow your own, you know what you have.
Definitely, and there's lots of great ways to grow your own mushrooms. Shiitake are probably the most commonly grown mushroom in this area. You can grow them outdoors on logs. You can also grow oyster mushrooms outdoors on logs much more effectively than you could on toilet paper inside, but it sure is fun to do that, I think.
It is. It's fun to watch it grow, and I think it helps kids understand, you know, how fungi develop, and it gives you a learning opportunity for you and your child.
Definitely, and maybe next time you take a hike and you see some of these are wild mushrooms that are growing, you'll have a different connection to them and think about them a little bit differently.
Absolutely. Now, what are some of the ones that you have
well,
here?
I have lots of different ones. So some fungi, like I said, are nature's recyclers. They just break down woody material. Others are mutualists. They can benefit plants, and some will actually hurt them. But here you can see one that's breaking down this bit of woody material. This is called a devil's urn fungus, and you can see these are the mushrooms. These are the fruiting bodies. They produce the spores. but then it's got that mycelium all tapped into this piece of wood, and it's breaking it down. So that's what
they do. Well, Ellen, certainly appreciate the information. And if you have questions about mushrooms, just make sure to contact your local extension office. Thanks for watching and have a great day. If you have questions about today's topic, please call the Warren County Extension Office at the number on your screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day.